Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the Zing 6 podcast. In honor of Halloween, we've all dressed up like some house guests for you. So we're going to go down the line and introduce ourselves. We'll start with Shelby.
Hey, everyone. I'm McCrae.
All right, Teddy, introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Peter. I'm from Big Brother Canada. The Shield.
Josh, you're up.
Oh, hey guys, my name's Aaron. I'm from Big Brother 15, and I am not a racist.
All right, Gabe.
I'm Danielle from BB14, and I'm working on 3 degrees, but I'm a kindergarten teacher.
And last but not least, we have Emily.
I'm Rennie!
All right, and I'll be doing this the entire episode, so you all know that I'm Nick Uha, and in keeping in tradition with my Halloween costume, after 5 minutes of this episode, I will leave and never come back. So, today, as promised, we're going to talk about all the past house guests from Big Brother 16. We're doing a random order right now, and not to waste time, let's dive right in. Shelby, first of all, we're going to talk about McCrae. I'll let you start off.
Really? First? Ooh. Okay. What do I have to say about McCrae? Okay. First of all, I loved how he was, like, so relatable for me personally because he just sat around and ate pizza all the time, first of all. But in terms of his game and stuff, I didn't really like it as much as I was hoping to. At the beginning, I felt like he had so much promise, but then when he was just, like, pushing Amanda in his way, like, so much, it was so much harder to, like, cheer for him in terms of game. You know what I mean? It was like as smart as it was for him to put Amanda in front of him, he just wasn't doing much else other than that. Like, him and Amanda would, like, talk about their game and stuff, but he didn't make any sort of, like, moves to do anything.
He didn't plan for after Amanda was gone.
Yeah, exactly. Which was not very smart.
I mean, like, as a fan, like, I always love when fans get casted because, like, I feel like they're going to play. But, like, recently with, like, Adam from maybe 13 and McCrae, like, these fans, like, they're not playing. And it's so, like, disheartening to, like, watch these people that, like, love the game, but they aren't playing. I don't know if you're just going to shock me in there, but, like, he did have so much promise the first few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Amanda just took over his game and, like, it helped but hurt him. I mean, he was just so boring to watch. It was, like, I was not a fan of him at all for being from Minnesota. So,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it was kind of boring, but at the same time, because he was with Amanda, like, it was still pretty interesting. But there were so many moments where he just didn't stand up for Amanda either, which I was kind of like, come on, man, like, do something. Like, when everybody would go off on Amanda, like, especially Gina Marie in that, like, one fight right before Amanda went home, when Gina Marie was, like, saying all this shit about Amanda, which some of it was funny, but, like, McCrae just kind of, like, sat there being like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't blame McCrae at all. Oh, my bad. But I don't blame McCrae for just, like, you know, standing in the background, because that's pretty much all he knew. Amanda put him in that place. Amanda was the man in the relationship pretty much, and whatever she said went. So how could you defend somebody who should be able to defend themselves, you know?
See, I don't know how much I agree with that aspect of it. Like, I think it's more than just, like, your place in the relationship at that point. It's like, I don't know. I was expecting him to do a little bit more. Just not even just in terms of, like, the dynamic of the relationship, but in terms of, like, how the game was going.
I think he got lazy, too. I mean, yeah, there wasn't much to do anyway. I mean, like, you know, I feel like if he did try to break out, Amanda would, like, stump that out right away. He was just boring. Wasn't memorable. Won't be back for anything. Disappointing as a fan to watch a fan suck.
Yeah, that was a huge part of it.
Like, he was memorable because you can hate him so much, which is not a good thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate him. He just annoyed me. Like, he's the definition of annoying, just like a little pest. I don't know.
You remember, like, when I think McCray, I think bandanas and the bandana game. That was.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was fun for everybody in the house and, like, making up games and doing stuff like that, but other than that, there wasn't that much to watch in terms of what he was doing.
So, I think we're going to move on now and talk about the next house guest on our list, which is David. So does anyone want to get the ball rolling? The first evicted, first to go.
I mean, supposedly he's annoying on Twitter, if that means anything, but gameplay, what gameplay?
I would just like to say that I can't get over week 1, day 1. Julie Chen announces a twist in the house. This year, there will not be 2 nominees.
One.
And everyone knew from that point that Caleb was out. He's out. And
They didn't even subtitle it. That was even worse.
I
it was
know.
the fact that he couldn't spell one word in that one competition.
They said that was like a first time in Big Brother history that no one ever put like a word down.
God,
Even
nothing
Jeff put
was down there.
Tectotronics. Like, come on, you can put something.
Tectotronics was at least an attempt. It's like down that board and there was nothing.
Nothing. It's like, man, you didn't even try. Like, you deserve to go
I come to
home.
Spencer like, good job, David, good job. Like, you had to do something that like embarrassing.
You were there.
Meanwhile,
You were
Aaron's
there.
like, that's my man.
When he flipped it up, he just looked so. He just didn't even care. He was like,
He was like, yeah, there's nothing here.
He couldn't even spell like dog or anything. Like,
Yeah, or like the.
The dog pie.
And the fact that in his pre-interviews, he was like, oh yeah, I'm here because, like, I want a showmance. Like, I'm in it for the showmance. It's like, please, like, go away.
yeah.
He was the only person in the pre-interviews who I predicted was going to go when they were supposed to, which was first. Because he wasn't really, he's not fit for Big Brother at all. I don't think he knows anything about the game. So.
No,
And if you're not there to win the game, why are you really there?
Why are you there?
Exactly.
A lot of people would take your spot then if you don't want to be there to play the game.
One person who would not take his spot because he did not want to be first out is Howard. What do we think about Howard?
Howard was painted as like Jesus of like season 15, and I actually saw like a reel of all the bad things he said, and I was like, what? Like, I watched some of the live feeds off and on, but like he would like do certain things like with his eyes, let you know like he wasn't as innocent as like they were trying to make him seem. And some stuff went down with Candace and stuff, but he was boring to me, and I don't know. That character has been done before, so I don't know.
I like how he always just
like his whole
circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you go.
But his
You
whole
go.
game was a good person. So, like, they had to edit him that way because that's how he played the entire game. Like, don't vote me out. I'm a good person. I have my Bible.
He like sits there at like the kitchen counter and he holds like a house meeting, and he's like, "Okay, now listen to this metaphor with this metaphor. Here's another like simile tied in. It's like, now this is what the game is like. Now keep me around."
Yeah, he was like, it's like, what are you doing? Have you even watched this show before?
Yeah,
Like people come to him and they're like Amanda was like, yeah, I don't understand. Like, you're being so shady right now. And he's like,
but the squirrel shady in the oak tree.
Yeah. He's like, you're not putting anything out there. He's like, maybe you just think I'm not putting anything out there because I am putting something out there. And maybe you're just reading into it weird, you know, because I got my Bible and like, oh my
You're hearing
goodness.
something that isn't being said, but I'm saying this, and it also means this, and it's underneath
Can we
this
talk
umbrella.
about also
of this.
like how big of a disappointment he was comp-wise? Like, why were these people afraid of him? Like, yeah, he would lie to you, but like, he was not a threat in any competition. They want to get out. Like,
He also
that
doesn't
wasn't.
want to
He's such a threat.
try.
Like,
Like Amanda kept
Remember
saying,
when
we
he
need to
tried
get
to throw it
Howard.
and
He's such a threat in the competitions. And my mom
oh, that was one of his
watching
best
it,
moments when
and
he
she's
threw it,
like,
trying to get like Caitlin, Aaron, and Jeannie Marie. Like, he was taking one for the team. That was so funny. I wish he could have done it.
Oh,
But
that
he
was
sucked so
hilarious.
bad.
Oh my
but
goodness.
my mom was sitting there watching, and She's like, he doesn't win anything.
Yeah,
But I
like,
think that
what
was
is
part
this?
of his game, because like the first episode when he like dropped off the popsicle like third or something, he's like, look at these arms, like I can hold onto a popsicle as
I
long
think
as
he
I
was
want.
bluffing in that. I don't know. I just think
And
that he wasn't that good at the competition. He couldn't even like paddle in a little boat, like. Or,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like
competition
think he
is
cared enough.
pathetic.
He didn't
I think
care enough. That was the
Yeah.
issue, I think. He just was
And then
like,
the thing
whatever.
about what he
Oh,
said to Amanda before he was about to be evicted.
Yeah. That's
no,
definitely.
wait. There hasn't been like no wait, because from what I like, they tried to find that clip and it doesn't exist. Like they cut out. There is no clip of him saying that exactly, right? It's all like what she said that he said.
The feeds
Right?
weren't on.
No, the feeds
Okay.
weren't on.
So let's just say like it's not like a clear thing. And Amanda she's so fucking dramatic that I'm not like if he said it or not. It's funny because I can see like him wanting just to fuck with her and like I don't know. I think if he did do it, it's funny. If he did it like to be serious, and it's creepy. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
but
like,
I mean, I don't.
He did.
And
You go.
No, you go.
Well, he did say it because they actually like called Amanda's dad about it and said that she was safe and stuff like that. But like, the thing is, I wonder if he was trying to get her vote, and that was like the only way that he could think about it was telling her that she was sexy or something.
That's such a
Which
good
might-
strategy,
It's not the right
man.
I wonder if
I
that's
don't think
only
that's it
how.
at all. I
'Cause-
think Howard has enough class to, just stay calm. I
Class?
don't think he said it at all.
class. You see what he was doing with Candace. I don't think that was class at all. Like
Yeah,
people
like
put.
there's this.
He used the phrase
There's
other
this-
time. He said to Candace, like, oh, sometimes
Yeah.
I get up with my friends and I fuck the shit out of girls. And that's what he said to Amanda.
Yeah, there's a clip. It's gone now from YouTube. I've no
Yeah,
clue
a
where
lot
it
of
went.
clips
I don't
are
know when it
gone.
was from, but there was like this whole video all centered around
Howard.
stuff that Howard had said, and it was like a clip of him with Candace, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like man, sometimes I just get so horny, and like I just want to fuck the shit out of these girls." And Candace was like, "She can't say that." And then later, when Amanda was like, "Oh, like Howard said this to me," she's like, "Howard would never say anything like that ever." Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "You heard him. Like you heard him say that." And then
By
another part
Howard,
of that
you mean
same.
Howie.
Yeah.
Howard.
Oh.
Why? I hate how he wouldn't tell her not to call. Like I love Candace to death, but like he wouldn't tell her, "Don't call me Howie."
I know, but he told everyone else. He's like, "I hate it when people call me Howie," and she's like, "Howie, dinner's ready."
Unfortunately, our time for Howard is at an end, although I'm sure we could have a whole episode on him.
Oh
We have
my
to move
God.
on now to Caitlin.
Her
Another person from
eyebrows.
Minnesota who
God,
sucks. Just saying.
I had
Oh my
so much hope for Caitlyn. I just hate that she got like poisoned with like the BB bunnies, and I'm like,
Ugh.
she could have
No.
she could have went so much further.
I don't think she was poisoned. Like that, how you are like comes out. Like it's easy to like sometimes mess with people, but like, I mean, I know the area where she's from, so like that area was like notorious for that. Like she was saying the N-word to like Amanda. Amanda was like, "So what? Whatever." Typical Amanda. But like she sucked, and there was like two embarrassing people from Minnesota. Even Janelle said that she couldn't root for her because she like wasn't Minnesota nice. Like she was horrible. I don't like her. Sorry.
Wait,
Gabe.
can we?
Sure,
I know that we always talk about Aaron's eyebrows, but Caitlin's eyebrows.
Thank
And the
you.
fact she looks like a knockoff B-grade version of Katy Perry mixed with Kristen Stewart is just so.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Totally. Like, oh my God.
Wait, you didn't like her eyebrows?
no. Wait. No.
No.
What do you think, Aaron?
They were
about
like-
eyebrows?
Shaped like squares, like right in here, and I was just like,
That's all I could focus on her face. Like,
Her eyebrows are my inspiration.
oh my goodness.
She was the prettiest
No.
girl in Big Brother history. Thanks
She
to
was the prettiest,
her eyebrows.
but it wasn't
You
because
guys.
of her
It
eyebrows.
wasn't because of her eyebrows.
No. And she got off lucky. If she would have stayed longer, she would have got a lot more shit too. And I don't like her. I think she got out easy.
I mean,
She's not. I don't know. I don't like her at all.
I feel like one of the biggest debates was like when they were that one week when they were trying to decide if they wanted to get rid of Caitlyn or Aaron, and then like Aaron started winning everything after they kept Aaron around. But I think that Caitlyn would have still won things. Like when people
Yeah, it
bring
would've
that
been
up,
the
I'm
same
like,
way.
yeah, it would have been the exact same way. You either have Caitlyn or you have
Well,
Aaron.
Yeah,
You're
they were
both
just threats.
still gonna win like everything because Caitlyn was pulling comps like all the
Second.
time. She was doing
Yeah.
so
The
good.
difference is, I don't think Caitlyn would have let Helen run like her HOHs, like
Or Amanda either. Or
or
Amanda.
Amanda. Caitlyn had more of a backbone, so.
She even said it, but I also think it's maybe because she saw like episodes. She said like in an interview with Jeff, like I would have nominated McCray and Amanda. And I was like, why couldn't you be there? Like I don't know, because like Aaron over
Yeah.
people.
But
my
I mean-
HOH here, just take it.
But at the same time, like I think, I don't know. At the beginning of the season, Caitlyn was my #1 pick. Like she was literally my #1 pick. I had such high hopes for her. I thought she was gonna do so well, just because in all of her interviews, she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna play the game and I'm gonna talk shit like in the diary room. I'm not gonna start shit whenever." And I was like, "This is what I want." And then when she got with Jeremy, it was just kind of like she wasn't focusing on her social game at all. And I think that is what killed her. She was so focused on just like spending all of her time with Jeremy.
That's why showmancer is so dangerous. Like you just
Yeah.
because you're not there to be in the show. You can do that after, like put it on pause and then do it. But I agree. I don't like it.
Yeah, and she was so like she really liked Jeremy. Clearly, you could tell.
Mhm.
But then in her interview, she was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. He can do what he wants. I think that
I'm
shows
going
that
to
she
Vegas.
wasn't very nice because that was
No.
uncalled for. And she did want to be with Jeremy on the house, but she just felt the need to say no. Just
I think we need to move on, and I have a feeling at least half
to
of
be
us
kind of catty, you know.
God, please be Alyssa.
are going to really, really like this next person
Amanda,
up. Who is
Oh, I'm getting
Alyssa?
nervous.
God.
Who is
Oh.
Alyssa?
Amanda.
Oh, Alyssa! Woo! Okay,
Is it
let me
Alyssa?
just tell you. Alyssa had one of the biggest targets on her back. Now, sure, she did get the MVP based on like favoritism and being Rachel Riley's sister. I will admit that. All you fans have to admit that too. However, for her to still last after the MVP push was over, deserves something. And like she was a huge physical comp threat, not mentally, but like physical. And to deal with all those crazy people, she was a physical. Are you serious? She was a physical comp threat after like.
I mean,
But that's just
how many competitions did she win?
3. She won 3 competitions.
You got your facts.
And when they mattered, she won those competitions.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, keep going with what you want to say.
Oh. I love Alyssa, like, and I love like her. I love like the funny passive aggressive, also just like bluntness too. Like she would just be like, I love all her insults to people were like, "Get a life." Like I just love like those. I don't know. I
I don't
definitely
even
enjoy her
think
more
about
than
you.
Alyssa,
Yeah.
now I am a fan of hers, but I will say she wasn't all that innocent thinking about it. Like, she did do insults, and she was kind of mean to some people. But think about it. She did it in such a cute, witty way. Like, how could you not love her? You know?
I mean, we could say the exact
'Cause they
same
liked
thing about
Amanda.
Amanda. Like, we
Yeah.
would, because I mean, I thought the way
Wait,
that
no,
Amanda
I-
was rude.
I mean,
I don't think
we'll
her.
go.
I don't
When
think
Amanda's
Amanda
card
was
comes up,
witty.
we'll go to her.
Yeah. But I mean, in terms of the whole how she handled, like when you said that she said the get a life and how she wasn't talking about Aaron and stuff, but like she was. She
Oh,
was
I
saying
know
all
that,
this
yeah, she
stuff,
did.
like
Oh.
I don't know. That's my issue with her is that she would like go on saying all these like little stupid things when she could have easily just said in that conversation that like yeah, she was focusing on what Aaron was doing because she was a threat to her. Like they were threats for each other's games. They were both the two best at like physical comps and stuff. Like
My
Alyssa
biggest
could have
thing is,
totally
no matter
turned
what
it into
anyone
that.
says, oh, sorry. Oh, I don't think it's lagging or something. My biggest thing with her is just like people think. I mean, like it came up last time. Like what she said was as bad as what Amanda or Aaron was saying. I really don't like. No matter in what way. Like sure, the abortion thing was extreme. Like that's one of the most extreme things she said. But she never attacked anyone because of their race or you know what I mean. And I think that it wasn't coming from a hateful hate place. Even when Amanda was in her face doing like the Grinch grin like to her and came into her space with Spencer and Andy. Like she never, you know what I mean. And I don't know. I think she was really witty. That was I think the biggest thing for her. But I love Alyssa. And I'm glad she was on the season for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of her game. That was what my issue was.
She wasn't a strong
I love
gamer
her
like Rachel
game.
for sure.
Yeah. Like,
Well,
her
that's
game was
true.
nothing like Rachel's.
She could have gotten fifth easily.
I think she took the situation she was in and tried to make it something better than what it was. I think she really did play her best, though. So hopefully she's on a new season and we get to see a better side. Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to see her and Rachel play together.
Yeah, I think that might she'd play better if her sister was in the house to like have that Riley rage.
But that's not
whatever
good
she
if you need
needs.
your sister
Like,
there. Like, if you need someone there, that's not good. Like, even though, like, you saw how fast Rachel fell apart without Brendan. Like, if you need someone else to play the game with you, like, in terms of, like, to bring out everything, then that's not, to me, that's not a strong player. I do think, like, Shelby, like, she wasn't a strong player in terms of, like, and I think Ritchie said it too, she could have easily went from 6th to 5th if she just would have been like, hey, McCrae, don't vote me out, but, like, actually, hey, like, he's lying to you. Fuck off, Andy. Like, I didn't do this.
She barely even tried.
Yeah, that was a big flaw. I did not like that at all. It was hard. Never she would have.
And like
Even
one reason
McCrae.
why I don't think she should be on another season with Rachel is because remember what happened in season 5 with like the twins, and even though they had a target on their back because they were like playing each other, like they were still sisters, and I just don't think it would be good for Rachel or Alyssa to play together. So,
Yeah. You know. Oh, Emily, you're muted.
Emily, you're muted.
Yeah.
What I said
He's
was.
so drunk.
Rennie was muted. That's hilarious.
Okay. I was saying that, like, I find it so weird that McCrae apparently knew that Alyssa kept Amanda but still put her up on the block in that double eviction that you were just talking
Yeah,
about.
it was weird.
Because didn't he say that it was because he thought that Andy wanted to get rid of Amanda so that the
that's
two
right.
of
Yeah,
them
he was
could work together?
Bro. Yeah. Which is so, yeah. That was another thing where as soon as Amanda left, he didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, welcome to the game, McCrae. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder if also, like, he just said that he knew it was Alyssa to not look like an idiot when they said, we're the exterminators and we're sending you home.
McCrae and Alyssa could have done some legit damage, I feel like, if they would have actually teamed up.
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel like,
for sure.
Against Spencer and Andy as comp threats, like, I don't think so.
Yeah, Alyssa was good at comms.
Yeah.
They could have easily taken it. Like, that would have been great. I would have loved to see that.
Unfortunately, we have to move on again. I know we have lots of opinions on Alyssa, but we're going to move on, and our next house guest on the agenda is Candace. So let's take it to Candyland.
All right, I love her. Let me tell you why, okay? Now,
Thank you, because I need to know.
But at the beginning, she figured out so much shit. Like, she figured out the, almost like the brother alliance, the boy alliance. I think that her biggest downfall was definitely Howard. But I love that she just said, like, whatever the fuck she said. Like, I mean, when you're attacking a 31-year-old woman in a clown suit, like, there's no better TV than that. Like, I love that she just kept it real. She and her earrings, like, everything was always over the top with her.
I mean, she may have figured out things, but then she just slept. And then she yelled at people and held meetings, and then she slept.
But, like, no one would listen to her. Like, she even told Helen, hey, don't do this. And then Helen even said when she got out of the house, the biggest thing was not listening to Candace and getting rid of, keeping Howard and keeping Candace. Like, the game could have been so different.
But how could you take her seriously? She established herself as a joke, by the way. I'm going to take you to Candyland. Like, the moment she says that, when she tries to confront you about something, you don't take it seriously. You go, oh, this is just Candace being crazy.
I mean, I have a cousin named Candace, and if she started to say that, like, I would probably leave and then have a talk with her. Because you're in your 20s or whatever, 30s for Candace.
Yeah.
Like, you don't call it your land Candyland. You don't call yourself Candyland. Like, I don't understand. Like,
yeah. I mean, I had such high hopes for Candace, too. She was, like, in my top 5 before the season even started. But it was just, like, she didn't do anything. And, I mean, it's part of the game to get people to listen to you. So, and, like, to follow what you're saying. Like, she needed to give everybody else in the house more. Like, sure, she found out the boys' alliance, but she needed to be, like, more upfront and more, like, look at this, like, we need to do something or they're going to take us out. Like, she needed to try a lot harder, and that's part of the game.
That's true, yeah.
Can we just discuss how beautiful a Helen, Candace, and Alyssa alliance would have been? In
I
terms
was
of,
really
like...
hoping for that at the very beginning when she figured out the boy alliance. I thought that's where the season was going, that it was going to be them three in an alliance.
They would have, yeah.
But, like, what were they going to do? Alyssa wasn't very good at, like, gameplay, and neither was Candace, and Helen was, like, just so cocky. Like, that wouldn't have worked at all.
I think their personalities in the beginning of the game, what we had seen, that's when I was really kind of hoping
That
for
was
it. I
just
mean,
like
what we
you,
know
yeah.
now about how kind of none three of them really did win anything.
Well,
I mean, they won a few
Yeah.
here and there, but
Yeah. I don't know.
well, I think that's a good stopping point for Candace. And for the three who are Alyssa fans, you might not like this one so much, but the next one is Amanda coming up here. So
Woo!
let's start to Shelby to start off.
Of course. Okay. We talked about this a little bit last week, but Amanda had a wonderful game, but she started getting... She was good at, like, telling people what to do, and she was good at making really personal connections with people to the point where she could tell them something and they'd be like, oh yeah, that's good for all of us, like, let's do that. You know, like the whole going with the house thing, like, she made everyone think that that was best for their game. Like, I can't remember what week it was specifically, but she was talking with people. I really don't remember who they were talking about getting out, but it was a conversation between Amanda and a few people, and then, like, Candace and Howard and Spencer, and they're like, and Howard and Candace were like, okay, so who are we getting out this week? You know, like, asking Amanda who was gonna go, and, like, she made everyone really believe her and think that she had their best interest at heart. But when she started, when her downfall was that she couldn't take things. Like, she took everything way too personally, and when she didn't win comps, she just, like, cried all the time. And it's like,
She
look,
got burnt
you
out
don't...
for being, like, that was the short version. She got burnt out. Like, she played a good game. If like, I think Emily said she would have shifted her game 4 or 5 weeks, she would have won. She played too hard, too fast. It was good. But then in the middle, some key points they need to do, like, it fell through. I mean, she decided to turn up her game. It was too late, though, at that point, you know? She almost won that POV, I think, and then McCray would have went home. But it's just like, she played the game and got burnt out too fast, and that's why I think she's going to... As a person... Huh?
That POV, tears streaming down my face.
Oh my goodness, you have
crying?
no idea. I was
What?
bawling my eyes
Are you
out the entire
serious?
time.
That was the
Here's
saddest
McCray, like, on the ground, like, having a
That
breakdown.
was so, like, anti...
Oh my god! And
I
then
was
when,
laughing.
and
I
then
thought
when
it was the
McCray
funniest
won
thing ever.
and they didn't really know what to do, they
I
just
know.
like hug each other.
Separate waves, and they're like,
Oh my god!
I was not, like, sad at all. Okay, I will say this, like, and by the way, Amanda did say that she wanted to go home on more than one occasion. Like, we got on Alyssa about that.
yeah.
Amanda, as soon as she was nominated, I just want to go home. This is so important to
That's
McCray.
because
Like,
she
she
knew
did
she
the
was
same
going
thing.
home
I think
and
it's
she
also
didn't wanna
normal
wait
to want to
around
go
for a
home.
week.
Like,
She wasn't saying she knew she was going to be
I mean,
evicted.
Alyssa could
Yeah.
have.
Send me out now.
That's what she was doing, because that was the week that she went home. Like, she knew she was going to go. She knew that she had no way to get around it. She knew it was going to happen, and why would you want to stay in the house
That's
for, like,
giving
4
up.
more
Bro,
days?
you could win a POV. She almost won the POV.
It was... That was after the
Amanda-
POV.
Amanda could have won if she would have sucked it up.
No. Amanda said before. Sorry, Josh. Amanda did say before that she wanted to go home. As soon as she was nominated, she was crying and said that she wanted to go home. I watched the episode. I actually watched it. Just
She
saying.
should have
But I don't know
known.
if it was,
She
like,
should have known.
in terms of
She was
editing.
the
But, yeah.
target.
Go ahead, Josh.
Okay. I think Amanda really could have won if she would have just, like, sucked it up, and she could have been that true villain that everyone's saying she was. But I think the crying just made her seem a lot weaker, and if she didn't do all that whining and stuff, she probably could have convinced a lot more people, like, hey, she's strong, I still want to be on her side. But I don't think it worked out for her.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know you guys aren't, like, the biggest Dan fans, but I think he was right when he said that she kind of played like a brat. Like, because I liked her in the beginning, but how, like Shelby said earlier, like, she couldn't handle certain things.
So
Like,
personal.
when things would go against her, when she wasn't in control, she would just break down, and like that's like a brat. I don't.
And the other thing with that is that like that was like initially like right after someone would win a competition, but for the first little while when that was happening, she'd like cry, but then she'd fix it like an hour later. Like she'd have it all settled down, and it was like if she would have just gotten over the emotional aspects of it, which I mean, like, we don't know what it's like being in the house. We don't know all the stresses. Like, obviously, everybody's going to break down at some point. But, like,
The frequency of that was...
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if she could have reined in her emotions better, then her game would have been...
Yeah. Or if she would have hid it a little bit more, instead of, like, just crying out in the open with everyone and, like, being all sassy and, like...
And getting, like,
taking
attention from it instead of, like...
And, like, taking over Aaron's HOH room and everything. Like, if she would have just cried, like, in the have-not room with McCrae or something, that would have been totally fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to defend her, but Rennie actually hates Amanda loads. Have you seen that tweet? Like, this girl Amanda on the current season, like, 3 exclamation marks.
Oh, yeah.
Is the perfect example of what humans must not be. Like 20
Oh my god.
Yes! That's why I love Rennie. Yes.
That's so
I like
funny.
that you're staying in
Next
character,
person
Emily.
up.
The next person up on our list is everyone's favorite winner, Andy.
Yay!
Let me be the first to say I really had
Me and Shelby are just like looking.
Oh god. Let me be the first to say I had high hopes for Andy. I thought he was gonna come in and be that non-stereotypical gay we had for the past 2 seasons. And he was doing great for a while, but somewhere, I don't even know what week it was, he just kinda like lost us. Well, lost me at least. Like, I didn't want him to win at all anymore. I hated him. I still don't like him as a player. But I mean, he's a great guy outside the house, so I mean that's my views on Andy.
Yeah, I mean, for me, at the end of the day, he did what was best for his game, you know, and it got him to the end, and we can say, and everybody else can say how bad his game was, but in the end, he still won. So he must have done something right.
Was he a fan?
He was a fan.
You can tell, because
I didn't like him from the beginning. Go ahead.
I stalked his Twitter like last year, and he was a fan. He even talked about Big Brother all the time. So yeah, he was a pretty big fan.
Yeah, he knew the game.
Can't stand him. I don't know. I'm sorry. I liked his cat shirt, but I just didn't like him. And then, like, I just wanted to say, like, not to sound mean or anything, but, like, when he would talk to people, he would kind of look like a kicked puppy. And
Yeah,
it
his
was
facial
every
expression, like-
single thing, and it'd be like, I'm telling you the truth. Like,
Yeah.
The worst was when he was eating, though. Like, was that annoying to anyone else?
Oh my god, he was like one of the grossest eaters I've ever seen.
That's true. And he always ate gummy bears.
Oh my goodness.
And this one thing, if he thinks, like, suppose he made some tweets about coming back for All Stars 2 and deleted it, like, you're not going anywhere. I don't think you even host a competition. So definitely get that out of your head, you delusional prick.
Yeah, David would come back and host a
I don't like
competition
Andy.
before him.
I think
oh my God, they'd totally bring back David to, like, reveal a twist. It'd be like,
To
here's,
host the
like,
spelling one.
You have to spell one word.
Or at least put some letters on the board and call it a word.
Yeah.
Technotronics.
We're going to move on from Andy now, and we're going to go to my namesake today, Nick.
Woo!
He had a lot of potential, but then he got,
Yeah.
I mean, he was like a bad game player in terms of he couldn't lie to Alyssa's face, and that's what cost him the game, I think, for sure. Is if he would have lied to her, I think he would have maybe still been in the house. It would have been interesting, but I don't know. A lot of good ideas, but wrong season, I think, for him, maybe. I don't know.
I think
He
was
was
also
too
that
cocky.
person. Yeah, I think he was that person who likes to talk about how smart they are and how good they are at things rather than actually being smart and good at things. Just the impression I got. He did a lot of talking about, this is my strategy and this is how smart I am and look at all my strategies that I'm not doing.
Yeah. And it's like, if you were really that smart, you wouldn't have left, what, week 2? Did he leave week
Yeah.
2?
Week 2. week.
Yeah.
He came down on the thing like he pulled. It's funny because he pulled. He pulled an Alyssa to Alyssa in terms of not being able to like to stand up for yourself or lie, like, and she's not intimidating, like I said last week, but he was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
He's
she
like,
kind of threw him a lifeline a little bit, and he just cut it.
Yeah.
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 Because wasn't she like, oh, if you like vote this person out, like or whatever, like I'll be cool with it. And then he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna vote them out. And she's like, well, then I'm putting you up. And he's like, okay, then.
You do what you have to do.
You can't think that you can go into the Big Brother house with like these such devised strategies. They're never gonna work.
Yeah, like Keith's Angels. There's one.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, that was. But he. I'm sorry. I have flashbacks. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. We're gonna move on
he needs to escape Gina Marie. Just saying. Go next.
Sorry.
He needs to escape Gina Marie. Like I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Restraining order time, I think.
Yes!
All right.
Wait, before we move on, have
Yeah.
you guys seen his YouTube videos? Do you know?
No time for that.
I saw the one with Gina Marie, and it looks pretty fake. Like it's not like a real date at all.
Oh, it's so contrived. It definitely has a script for that date. Like first date that's had a script, I think.
Oh, I'm gonna go watch it now.
Yeah, now we have to watch it.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah, I
one
didn't know
with
they had a
Andy,
video.
the one with Andy, I think premiered yesterday, and it was just like it was really boring. Like Andy is so boring on camera. I think off camera he's probably a little more hysterical. But yeah.
He had one with Dan too, where he kept talking about how people apparently thought they were cousins, but he wouldn't really let that go. I think he really wants to be related to Dan, which is quite sad if you ask me. But so everyone's homework is to go home and watch all of Nick's videos.
All of them?
Same with you,
Yeah,
viewers.
no, not happening.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I'm failing that class. I'll tell you that.
So
I only
now
watched the Gina Marie one.
we got to move on to Helen, my baby Helen,
America's mom.
America's mom.
Okay.
I'm just a mom.
Okay, do you want to go first, Richie, and I'll go second? Wait, Richie,
No,
go
you-
first, because it's Helen.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I was just saying, I loved Helen. I thought she had an amazing kind of strategy and role in the house. I think she did some really great things. She really kind of got an entire house behind her who was really afraid of her. But I don't know, even afraid of her in a way that they loved her and they just wanted her to tell them that they were Janelle. That's all they wanted.
Yeah. I mean, she knew what to tell people.
She knew what to say. She always knew what to say. She killed people with kindness and really kind of paved a path. I think she played way too hard too early, and that was kind of her downfall. But I think she was still a really good player.
I couldn't stand her. I'm sorry.
I'll say this.
So sorry. Like, you are Janelle. You
Okay.
are
the biggest thing was
Janelle.
Okay, pre-show interview, I was rooting for her. She was like my number one person because she was a fan. She was like older, so I feel like she could have done like a little bit more. And I liked her the first like 3 or 4, 2-3 weeks, and then after that, I think like the pep talks got annoying. Her mannerisms got annoying. Her like weird random voguing while she was voting for people, like I vote Tiffany, my boo Candace, like all this shit that was like unnecessarily extra. Like, I vote Tiffany, vote my boo Candace, like it just. Then she got annoying, and I mean, and the crying annoyed me, and yeah.
Okay.
I'm a
Her
mom.
shoulders.
The crying
Yeah.
was insane.
The right.
Like,
When I get to the final 2, she's not even gonna be there to vote for me. You're gonna get to the you're gonna go to final 2. Okay, it's like week 4.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's like there's still like 12 of us left.
let
and
me
you're-
tell the entire house that I'm gonna be in final 2.
Like, I understand where Ritchie is coming from, and sadly I agree with everything he's saying, but just personally, I hate her so much.
Oh my god. Richie is like dying right
It's
now.
so hard. It's like everyone beating up on My child, my
Sorry, it just consumes me. Like, she's so annoying.
I know.
She has an Instagram, though, you guys.
Oh, she was like, you guys, no one in the row gets to do this, so we all should enjoy this opportunity, okay?
Oh,
Like, those kind of moments got under my skin.
The lead.
Yeah.
This is classic Big Brother.
I'm definitely like
Someone
on the
different, don't
fence
say.
with her. Like, I hated her before the game started. I was like, she's a mom. She's gonna get voted out like week 2 because nobody thinks that she's gonna be able to do anything.
Mhm.
And then I started liking her.
I hated her before, I hated her during, and I hated her after. I still hate her. I don't like her. I'm so sorry, Ritchie. I can't
She owes her kids. She owes her kids because she exploited them by using mom to get so far in the game.
I know. Poor kids.
I just don't think that that has anything to do with, like, I know it worked, which makes me so annoyed, but, like, why?
All right, my heart is torn up here. So we're gonna move on to another controversial player who will probably have as much negativity coming at her. We're gonna go to Erin. And everyone's silent. All right.
No negativity from me.
I liked it. And like
I mean-
one where she's like, I'm gonna like this MVP twist because I'm gonna win it like a bunch of times, obviously.
Let me just say she's a volatile human being. No matter what her, I'm the same age as her, and there's no, I mean, when she started, and there's no excuse for how she acted. Texas or not, home life or not, I mean, there's no excuse. I hope they don't bring her back for All-Stars. Horrible game player, like nothing that she wanted to happen when she was HOH happened. Good competitor, horrible at using it. I will say after you won. That's all. I don't want to say anything about race or anything. Huh?
I would have to disagree, but that's because even though she didn't get what she wanted every week, like, she still got really far. And if you think about it, when she finally decided to like switch over and like be with Helen and stuff, like, after that she would have gone home. If she didn't start working with these people and like doing what they wanted, she would have gone home right away. She did what she had to do to stay in the house longer. I don't
But
think
staying in the house isn't winning. Like, she didn't win.
No, but she got a lot further than she could have gotten, which is giving her a better chance to win at the end. If she would have made like some sort of alliance and been like one of the parts in the Exterminators, she could have gone to like the final 2. Like, we have no way of knowing. She did what she had to do to stay in the house as long as she possibly could, and that's what she did. And even though she didn't get what she wanted done every single week, like, she was still there, and she wasn't the one going, and I think that's all that she cared about.
I think after, like, I think she redeemed herself with Amanda and McCrae after, 2 HOHs. That was enough. All you have to do is pour your HOHs into other people twice. That's plenty. And then she should have split off from them because she had already, like, established herself in the house as a likable person after, you know, her start to the other house guests. So why did she stay with Amanda and McCrae for so long? Because she should have known they'd take Andy. If
She
it came
didn't know
down
where
to
to
it.
go.
Yeah, that's true.
But my thing was, like, she wasn't at the point where you win so many competitions. Yeah, that's, like, to me, like, deserves to win. But then, like, she wasn't, like, sure, she manipulated her way kind of to be the season's, like, rag me doll. But she wasn't, like, when she started playing like that, she wasn't playing for first place anymore. She was playing for second, I feel like. Because, like, that's a strategy, yeah, but it's not a good one in my eyes. Like, I mean, that's nothing. I don't know. I just feel like there's a certain point you get to, if you're winning and making moves, yeah. I mean, it was smart for her to bow down a little bit, but it wasn't her playing for first place anymore when she decided to do that. I feel like.
I think, but would she have won against Andy, for example? Like, if she had taken, because she was such a comp beast, I think that if she got to Final Four with Gina Marie, then it becomes all competition based, and she could have gotten there with Gina Marie, and she would have beat her.
For sure.
If she wanted to stay with her.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Like, once it gets to a certain point, all that matters is competition. So you want to get out people at a certain point who can win competitions, which is why it was good for them to get Erin out because she could win them, but at the same time, I don't think that she was realizing that once she got to Final Four, she was set.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, I think that's a good
Next
point to
person.
move on to JU double eviction.
That was good. I'll give you
Kenny
that.
likes that.
I definitely stole that
No,
line
because
from
I
Amanda.
hate Judd.
I know.
Yeah, you did steal. I didn't want to say you stole it, but I think you stole it.
Oh.
No, I willingly credit
It's my
Amanda
first
for that
time.
joke.
I will say, like, for someone who's so real liked based on some like edited TV personality, because live feeds he was horrible.
I hate it.
No gameplay. Talk about no gameplay. He said, keep Andy and Spencer around because I'll be voting for him. That was so fake sounding for one. Like, he's so dumb.
I mean, I don't know, but he said a few things, and then he said another few things, and I don't know, but
Texas tornado. Like, that's all he said.
Texas tornado.
The only really good move that he came up with was when he told Helen that Caitlyn had said that she was gonna go after Helen, because that's what made them decide that they were gonna keep Erin over Caitlyn. Because Judd knew that he could use Erin.
And he
didn't have any control over Caitlyn.
He like freaked out when he was HOH. Like he just wanted it for the crown. Like he didn't know what to do with it. I mean, he got overwhelmed easily. And it's just like, well, why did you? I mean, granted, if he didn't win the HOH, Caitlyn would have won it. But then like, can't handle it. It was like weird. If he's back for All Stars, I hope he's gone early because he's not.
No, he would not.
He'll never be back.
You don't think? Are you serious? People loved him. I thought America loves him.
I think he's a Jordan. I think he's a Jordan.
He got the top 3.
When
Wasn't it like it was Alyssa?
I don't know how.
Yeah, I have no idea how that happened.
Oh,
I feel like America likes him.
America likes what they see on TV, and I'm on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. TV-wise, yeah. And that's who votes for these things.
I'm on. A lot of people like Judd, and I'm like, Judd is not all that it's cracked up to be. I don't like his gameplay, his personality. JUW, like, okay, we get it. You're JUW. Oh,
Party darty.
JUW
Party darty's back in the house.
Sorry, how many D's are in your name? I can't remember. If there's a way for me to remember, that'd be great.
JUD.
He was just really overrated, and I don't know why America was so obsessed. Like the small boy town, like he's not the first small boy town.
And he was not nice. He was really aggressive.
Yeah, I know he was.
He had like anger issues too.
Oh. Yeah.
I will say he does look nice in a pair of black briefs. If y'all did not see that picture, he looks hot.
Wait, what'd you say?
I
Wait,
said
what'd
he
he
looks
say?
hot in those black briefs. He was wearing a pair of boxer briefs one day, and he just looks amazing in those briefs. Like,
And then, I mean, with Judd, it was weird because like I wasn't liking him for a really long time, but then when he got voted out, I was like, I miss him. Like he was always so stupid. Like I never liked him, and then I started liking him when he was voted out.
The second time?
The first time when he was voted out, the first time, I was like,
He gave up
Judd,
so
I
much
miss
too.
you. I was
Like
I
all he
really
did was
miss
give up on
you.
competitions. Like
Yeah.
you say you want to be there, but you quit
He
everything. So
gave
then,
up on that veto?
Oh my God, I see
Yeah.
the picture.
Oh my god.
what did you even type in to find that picture?
Judd in black briefs, BP50.
Oh my God.
You got Josh
See it
over here
again.
blushing over that picture.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Oh my god. These after he came back and he was aligned with Alyssa, everyone on Tumblr was like, "Oh my god, Jack's the hottest person I've ever seen."
What was that, Emily?
When Judd
my
came
God.
back the second time and aligned with Alyssa, all of a sudden these Alyssa fans were like, "Judd's actually really hot. I really want Judd to whisper sweet nothings into my ear and stuff like
I
that."
know. I was like, excuse
Do you
me?
guys think? Do you guys think that like I mean realistically, I feel like he should have stayed with Alyssa and he could have gone further. Because when you're playing, okay, like someone said this, I think one of the players, like, there's a difference between playing for like second and fourth place with alliance-wise. With Alyssa, you're final two. With that big group, you're like five. You see what I mean? Like on the totem pole. So
Yeah.
I think he would have stayed with her. They could have gone further. I feel like. I don't know. I mean, I
He
think
should
it was
have-
better.
Calculated risk, yeah.
The thing is, he shouldn't have aligned with this big group that already had each other because he was missing for so many weeks that they had like bonded and become closer. So of course they're gonna drop him first. But Alyssa had no one, so he might as well have stayed with her because she wouldn't
That's what I
have
mean.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
She would have been loyal with him.
I think it was
Yeah.
a case of
Very
safety
least.
right now versus safety in the future. Like in the future, he would have been safer with Alyssa, but it would have been harder to stay for him to stay at that moment, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I think he should have tried to bring Alyssa into like the exterminators or something, or at least made
What?
some sort
That
of
wouldn't
like
have worked.
combination. I'm not saying that she would have been like in the exterminators, but have some sort of like fake alliance. Like, you know how the Goof Troop had the knockouts, where they had like Alyssa and Helen on the outside, just to make them feel like they were safe. Like if Judd
Yeah.
had brought Alyssa in and made like a fake alliance with the exterminators, but really just been more loyal to Alyssa than the rest of them, they could have carried Alyssa and Judd a little bit further and put them in a better position to make it to final two together. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea.
I think we went a little bit over on Judd. We have to move on to
It was a party
player.
party.
Say that.
We have to move on to a player who's never been fat. She's always been cool. It's Jessie.
Oh my god! Oh my god.
Can I
I
just say
love
how
how you
annoying
had
she was
that
in the beginning,
written
but then.
down.
Oh.
Oh,
And
I'm
then
not
annoying
a
she
Jessie
was.
fan.
Oh no! In the beginning she was annoying, but then like in the middle, like I said, when you just started to hate everyone else, she started to look better. It kind of helped her likability. And like Alyssa said, she was the only 10 in the house. So.
Oh yeah, for
She would have
sure.
gone early though if it weren't for like she was you can tell she was picked as the annoying girl, and she would have gone
yeah.
so early if it weren't for Aaron, Caitlin, and Gina Marie like taking the heat off of her.
I wish she had gone early.
Same.
Yeah, same.
I
couldn't
wish she would have
stand her.
stayed longer, to be honest.
But like these
Why?
people that we like, they couldn't win anything. Jessie couldn't win. Candace couldn't win. Like the people that like would have taken them down, they couldn't win. So like it was annoying. Like Jessie said, "I'm gonna get you," but she couldn't win anything. But I love Jessie.
Yeah,
But like she couldn't.
It's so
She wasn't
frustrating.
like
Like watching people who are like, no like offense to anyone, but I just find it always so frustrating when people are like, I love Jessie even though she doesn't have a good social game and she can't win competitions. It's like,
Personality.
And there you
Like,
go.
when you love someone, you don't have to love their gameplay. I didn't like her
But-
gameplay.
like
she had a
personality isn't
personal-
gonna win in the end.
So, yeah.
I think if people
There's a
really
difference,
liked
though, like,
her
for
because
example,
she talked
like-
bad against Amanda. I think that's why people liked her.
that's
Isn't that like the only
Oh,
reason?
her-
Because
Yeah, people only started liking her when she started talking shit about
Yeah.
Amanda.
And unsuccessfully, that stupid "I'm gonna blow up the house." She didn't do anything.
Oh my
it was
goodness.
so stupid.
I also didn't like that she like talked shit about Alyssa in the jury house, supposedly according to Judd, when Alyssa was actually genuine to her. Like I think Alyssa was caught off guard by that. You know what I mean? Like talking, I mean, like yeah, the whole blowing up the house, calling like Alyssa Rachel's ghost, like it was
That's
a
all she
petty
did.
attempt at trying to stay in the house. Yeah.
That's all she
It
did.
was
She was
so-
only going off on Alyssa.
It wasn't
I
even like
always-
uncomfortable to watch. It was just annoying. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna blow up the house, blow it up. Don't just say like one thing and be like, I
It was
did
like a
it.
bonfire, like pretty much.
Yeah, a whole bonfire.
Speaking of
It's like I want.
bonfires, I
It's like in
always
Sims when you can do like a bonfire and then like you have the nerd trait and you can throw in the test tube. Like throw in the test tube and it goes nuts. It's like poked it. She just poked it. That's it.
I
Yeah.
always view Jessie as like Demi Lovato from Camp Rock. Like that's how I always viewed her. She was such an underdog. Except like she was an underdog, you would want her to come up on top.
What?
But oh my god, Is that weird? Like, am I the only one?
Go home, Aaron.
Yes.
You're drunk. Like,
You're the only one who thinks that.
I drunk too much nail polish.
I know. I was gonna say.
I think we got to move on to someone from someone who's always been cool to someone who's never been cool, which is Spencer.
Ew.
My name's Spencer. I got the cake.
Did anybody bring chocolate milk?
Oh my god.
The whole fight. I'm gonna get some chocolate milk.
He's so gross.
He was disgusting. I couldn't stand
So
him.
gross. Between his like beard and his personality, like literally nothing was redeeming.
And he only
Like-
grew the beard for the show. He didn't have a beard before Big Brother.
Who
Really?
would grow a beard
Yeah.
to try and get fans?
Why would he
Like,
grow
I don't understand that.
And it's sad because, like,
Really?
I
That's
don't know what
dumb.
what does Marilyn see in him? I mean,
I
like, he
didn't
gets
think she
me-
was real.
Does anyone think
I
he's
know.
fake? Thank you. I was thinking that too.
It's like his
Oh, no,
cousin or
Marilyn,
something. Like,
yeah.
oh, this is Marilyn.
Like, why does
She's
this picture
real.
look so photoshopped, Spencer? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. And she only came out about her like Twitter and stuff after the season.
Yeah, it's his cousin,
Even she
and
was
she's
ashamed.
acting, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, she's definitely fake.
Spencer, your
I mean,
girlfriend
why,
looks
like,
a lot like the
real?
person who comes in the frame when you buy it from Walmart.
Oh my god. If
Big brother had
Marilyn
to
is
help model
real,
it.
like, Spencer gives me hope because he reminded a lot of myself only because he's like a bigger guy. And I'm like, well, if he can find a
Spencer gives me
girlfriend, I
hope.
definitely can find a boyfriend. Like, where are you looking at?
Spencer gives me a headache, so
My goodness.
Spencer gives me hope. That is
stand him.
it.
And
This
him
podcast should
standing
be
by
called
that
that.
train and like his video in the first episode, like, I'm gonna lie, I'm gonna cheat, I'm gonna conduct this railroad right now.
Yeah, I know. It's like shut
I
up.
loved how he kept. Did you guys remember how he kept shouting out the his little job like every time
Railroad
he was
company, Pacific Railroad Company or something.
Yes, and they were trying to fire him, but they couldn't because he was union.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
so awkward. I was like, oh,
I'm Spencer and I got the union. Like,
Shout out
Like,
to unions.
My goodness. But literally, like, he would just go off and on, especially his thing about, like, the whole Jesse's, like, pussy tasting like butterscotch and shit. It's like, what is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
that is so weird. And he has a girlfriend at home. Why are you thinking about that? So many questions.
Supposedly.
Thank you. Was
He
his
has a
imaginary girlfriend not imaginarily upset about him, like, discussing the taste of Jesse's vagina? Like,
Yeah, and, like,
he said like
asking Judd if he could sniff his fingers when he was done with Jesse. Like,
oh.
how could Marilyn not be upset?
No,
He said so many sexy
No, he
did.
these things and got away with them.
Shelby,
None of them
no.
really aired.
Yes,
No,
he
no,
did.
no, no,
He
no,
was
no, no,
talking
no.
to he was talking to Judd, and he's like, "Hey, when you're done fingering Jesse, come over here so I can sniff your fingers."
Oh my god, I'm so horrified.
Yeah, like
bro.
it's disgusting.
Oh
Like
my
I
God.
don't know why he doesn't get enough shit about it. Like everybody's just kind of like, "Oh yeah,
Oh
Spencer,
my-
like he's disgusing. Like we
Julie,
know
did
he's
I say
disgusting,
anything?
so we'll just forget about it."
Like, the beard is no excuse. He's still gross without it. Like,
My goodness. He just went way too far. Plus, in one of the intro interviews, he was talking to like Jeff or something about a showmance, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, like I'm single or whatever."
yeah,
And
he's listed as
like-
single online. On the
Yeah.
thing. On the,
And in all of his
So
interviews,
Marilyn's fake then. Something's not
she
right.
has to be, or she's like a
She's
friend.
so pretty too. I want to let her. I want to.
Yeah, she's not real.
Girl is fictitious. Well, I think we need to move on from a player whose biggest strategy was not getting voted out to someone whose strategy was very questionable, Jeremy.
My
Hmm.
dude.
I would just like to say that I have some Cherokee in me, and I was highly offended by his
Yeah, I'm a little bit Native
continuous,
American,
I got
too.
this Cherokee blood and all this. And I'm like, you're
Yeah.
making us all look bad.
Like I'm not even a
Yeah.
lot Native American, but that was enough. Like I'm a little bit, but it was just embarrassing too. Like I don't know. I mean, and
I think like everything you did was embarrassing.
And the thing is, like, he could have been a comp threat, but his. Oh, sorry. I love how he said he's a threat all around, but he was the first one gone out of the HOH that Helen won. That like made my like Big Brother life. Like when he was the first one
Which one?
gone.
What one did Helen win?
The third one.
Third.
And he was the first one. It was the first question. The question.
Yeah, but what comp
trivia
was it?
of the season?
It was like the
Like the actual name of it, or what?
Like, was it it was trivia, right?
It was definitely.
Yeah, it was trivia.
Yeah.
And he was the first one
What
out.
kind of trivia?
Was it the before or after?
I don't remember the exact kind. Oh,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
about
that
like
was
the little
the
like thing that like yeah.
No, it was about the
The thing that
thing that they
came
had
out.
at night.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
True or false?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god, I like his gameplay and everything about him was just so ridiculous, but I loved it. I love him so much.
Really?
Oh my god,
Sure.
Emily.
I think
So
it was funny that he
hilarious.
thought he was offended that he wasn't like in the top 3 to be America's favorite. And I was just like, in what world do you live on? You weren't even on the
Oh
show
my
for like
God.
10 episodes. What?
Yes, he told me on. I talked to him on Facebook and he was like, "Don't forget to vote for me for America's favorite." And I was like,
Dude,
"Dude, you are
yeah.
not gonna get that."
Yeah, like
I think going back to the Cherokee thing, I hate it. He was like, "I'm Cherokee. I'm gonna go throw it." Blah blah blah. I was like,
Spears
He
of
was
Buffalo.
disgusting with Alyssa's hat and stuff, and I feel like he jumped on the bandwagon of liking her just because he saw it was popular. But what he did with her hat, and like, disgusting. And I think once he saw that people liked Alyssa, he didn't want to be hated, so he jumped on the wagon of we love Alyssa. But he was gross, and I think he was faking.
I just didn't even get his like, okay, cool, I'm Norwegian, I'm gonna go roll in the snow. Like, no,
Yeah.
like, what does that have to do with anything? Like,
Yeah.
cool down your ball sack. No, like,
I mean,
What?
I hate to keep talking about the times I've talked to him, but I remember. Okay, guys, I told him I complained about Alyssa to him, and he was like, "Yeah, totally," and he agreed with me and complained about her. The next day, he tweeted that he liked her, and I was like,
See,
Jeremy,
I knew it's fake. I
Wow.
can see where
Fake.
it's going.
He wanted your vote for
You
America's
thought
favorite
Joe
too.
A-lister
Sure, he
cast
would
there,
win.
Jeremy.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
disappointed. I was like, "What the hell, bro?"
Yeah.
You should
Like,
get him on
whatever
our
you say,
podcast.
be sure to vote.
Oh, no. Dude, someone was talking to like Janelle or something. Not like
I
Jeremy.
talked to Janelle once
really?
No
about
way.
Real
On what?
Housewives of Miami.
On what?
Oh my goodness.
Real Housewives of
On Twitter
Miami.
or what?
On Twitter.
Oh.
I feel like
Real Housewives. And
I
you're
should
like,
just-
"Joanna, I don't-"
I should just
Janelle
give up
used
trying to
to-
get them to talk to me now. Like
No, never
everybody's
give up.
ignoring me.
I try to get
Doesn't
Danny.
matter
to
how
talk to
many
me all the
times I-
time.
Comment.
Sorry, but
Well,
I talked to Amanda, and she gets hate, 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 hate. Then I send her one nice one. Does she reply to that? No, she replies to all the hate.
She really does. Like, that was with Reagan one time. Reagan was getting a lot of hate, like, a couple of months ago. And so I sent him, like, this really cute message. And he's like, "Oh, thanks, Josh." And I was like, it works for some people. You just gotta work it, you know?
Reagan was an
Yeah.
idiot for defending Andy anyway. Let's talk about that. I don't know if you have time, but him saying that he wouldn't like Andy because he was gay was the most idiotic thing he's ever said. And maybe not like Reagan as a person, but that's just me.
What did you say?
He was cause so like he kind of took I think it's because Andy said that he was a fan of Reagan. That's why he felt so personal to him. But like Andy was getting a lot of shit, as you know, about his like rat-like gameplay. So Andy made this huge blog post about why he thinks people hate Andy, and the main reason was because he was gay, and that wasn't it at all. And he like made a second post about defending him about like where you say he's a rat. Well, who isn't a rat in Big Brother and all this other shit. Like you have to go look it up, you guys, if you don't know. Like. People in the podcast and not like he defended Andy so much and it was disgusting, and it was idiotic because it wasn't for the reasons that we didn't like him. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Danny Donato has never replied to any of my marriage proposals on Twitter, so
You got Dominic.
I don't
to
want to
compete
keep
with.
bragging about people who keep talking to me, but on her birthday,
You're just like Aaron. Go ahead. Go on. Just like
I'm
Aaron.
sorry,
Yeah.
but on her birthday,
You
I was
are
like,
Aaron.
Oh my god, shut off now. But on her birthday, I was like, I'm totally jealous that you married Dominic and I didn't even get to like do things to him. And then she was like,
That was
holier
you?
than thou. That was me.
you?
She's like, holier than that? Yeah, that was me.
I
She
saw
replied
that
to you?
on Tumblr.
Oh yeah, that was me. I probably posted the picture. So yeah.
Probably. Wow.
Don't worry, we'll break them up. I'll take Danny, you can take Dominic. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan, alright. We're going to move on to our last house guest of the evening.
Gina Marie.
Everyone's favorite, Gina Marie.
I totally forgot about her. I thought we were done.
I'm Gina
Staten
Marie.
Island, using scrubs, this is how we do it. You know my accent,
Cockroaches.
you know what you're handling
I'm
here.
happy living with my mom. I love living with my mom.
Your 30 seconds is up. Your 30 seconds is up.
And
And I deserve to win Big Brother because I'm Gina Marie. I'm Gina Marie. I'm Gina.
I heard somewhere that
I'm
her
real,
accent
you know,
is
I'm real.
fake.
BBXV. Over here. It's the same shit.
You guys,
Oh,
I
well,
heard from someone that
that's
her
what Gina
accent
Marie
is
is.
fake. It's totally fake. She like plays it up.
Really?
it's not.
Doesn't surprise me. She's
Because
psychotic.
of her on her YouTube before she went on the show, and she has it.
Oh,
I
okay.
did it, guys. I changed my costume to Gina Marie.
I didn't even realize you were doing it.
Oh my
Shelby,
goodness.
give her your hat. Give her your hat.
Oh yeah, you gotta
That's
have
my
a hat.
fucking hat. It's my hat. Boys, fuck that shit.
All you gotta do is say, "Where's Nick?" and you're definitely Gina Marie.
You need a cereal box.
Monster truck!
Oh, do the exterminator thing that she kept doing all the time, idiot. Oh man.
You pump it and you spray it.
Shelby.
My goodness.
I was
Like,
so
I was
mad
embarrassed
nobody
watching
stole
it.
the blue hat. Like, I was waiting for the
Yeah,
day
why
that
did
somebody
Amanda all of a sudden decide to have a heart and like
she is
I
a
was
nice
like, okay,
person.
Amanda, like, huh?
She's a nice person.
No, because that fight that her and Amanda got in before she left. But anyway, like, it was funny because everyone was like, don't give it back. I mean, it wasn't even Nick's hat, which made it even funnier. I don't know.
And no one said anything. Like, she was gonna, like, blow up if they said, that's
Yeah.
his hat.
She had that, like,
Oh.
she was like, who took his hat? Like,
Took his hat, took his bug, made my shrine, like... I got HOH for the hair dye and, like, the little coffee table where I can set up everything.
She loved the exterminators the most out of all the exterminators. Like, I
kind of a
remember,
dynamic
country.
duo.
remember when she had a
Banana.
camera, and I was watching the feeds this day, and she had the camera, and she was so set on getting a picture with her exterminator. She was like trying to smuggle them up to the HOH room to have a secret picture. She was like, guys, come up. And then they nearly got caught, and she's like, we're just chilling and relaxing. I'm just sitting here drinking the soda, you know.
Oh my god. I
just
stopped
drinking my
watching
soda.
at that point.
And she would always call Amanda mommy, like when they were fighting, and I thought it was so patronizing. Like,
Oh, you mean Amanda?
Mommy, calm down, mommy.
yeah.
God.
I would have been like, if you
Why
fight
do
me one more
Chola
time, I
accent?
swear to God, I'm gonna kill you.
Like, she was just,
I thought Amanda and hers fight was funny though. She was like, "I'm drinking my soda. I'm drinking my soda."
She's
like,
playing Jenga and drinking her soda, and she ain't doing anything.
she was, I have no clue how she got so fucking far.
Because she would be a waste of an HOH, just like Spencer would be. Like maybe she was good at physical comps, give or take, but I mean, in terms of gameplay, you know, she was an idiot. I mean, even though the idiot got Amanda, like she was a waste of an HOH. I wouldn't. Because I didn't like her, like she was a waste of an HOH.
I would have put her up. Because I would be
Yeah,
like,
that's like
there's
saying
no
since
way
those
she's getting to
two-
the end.
That's like saying since those two were a waste of an HOH, those should have been the final two. And I'm like, they should have went at one point, and it should have
Yeah.
been a long time.
They should have been taken out really early.
You know, like instead of Nick leaving early, it should have been like Gina Marie, because she was like the JoJo of the season.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
like
I think Amanda
Yeah.
said once that she actually believes that Gina Marie has some kind of learning disability.
Which she
I mean,
does.
if that's what she has,
She's
then don't
totally
make fun of her.
dyslexic.
Yeah, but it's something more
Oh
than
God.
that. Because she was like, Amanda, they were asking her in a podcast, they were like, so can you confirm that Gina Marie is the stupidest person on earth or something? And she was like, I don't really want to call her stupid because I think she might have something. And that makes me feel really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because she got kind of beat up so much for
The letter.
not being able to speak very well, and
Oh man.
Yeah.
Dynamic
feel
duo.
bad.
That's what I think. Of
Dynamic
Gina
duo.
Marie.
Dynamic duo.
That speech for Alyssa and Justin together. Oh.
I think what would have been great is a conversation between Howard and Gina Marie, because they were the two people who could not string together more than 6
He would
words in a
just be
row.
yelling, and he'd be like, and
Grasshopper,
then
Staten Island.
Oh my goodness, that would be so funny. He'd be like going on about some like crazy metaphor, and Gina Marie would just be like,
scrubs.
"Yeah, scrubs, cockroaches, like you know what it is."
I'm happy living my mom. Whatever.
My goodness.
Guys, can I just say something? Everyone thought that Gina Marie was saying, when she was like compromisation or something, everyone thought that she was saying compromise. But she was actually trying to say a mix of compensation and compromise. And I'm just really proud of myself for knowing what to say.
Compensation.
Oh my
Thank you, Rennie, for that.
You're welcome.
She was ridiculous.
Well, I want to thank
Arbor.
all of you, and I want to thank all of our viewers. We did go a little bit over time. I apologize, everyone, for sticking with us and watching.
Thank you, everybody.
Next week, I think we're going to be discussing Amanda versus Alyssa. So
Yes.
it'll be an exciting podcast.
Pretty much like the biggest drama of the entire season, especially on Tumblr.
Watch
Everybody was
episodes, I think
crazy
it's
about
like
that.
27, 28, 29, 30. It's just when the big things happen in terms of TV show. People that are trying to look back and get some
Hold on,
facts.
it's almost done.
And we'll look back a bit too. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Have a great
Everybody.
have a great night.
Bye.
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 College.